I made that Statue of Liberty head for you, and you're not even gonna eat it?
No, I don't want it.
Hey guys, Zach here, and today we're talking about one of my personal favorite movies of all time. We're gonna talk Cloverfield and why it's the best monster movie of all time. So, Cloverfield was released in 2008. There were all these mysterious teasers leading up to the movie's release. What could this movie be about? What's really going on? There's a lot of mystery surrounding it, which builds up intrigue and makes people want to go see it. What they got was an action-packed, intense, scary, found footage monster movie that has to be the most unique monster movie of all time and the most unique found footage movie of all time. That's why we're going to look at it today and talk about why Cloverfield is the best monster movie of all time. So before we even talk about the movie itself, we have to talk about the marketing campaign and the teaser trailer, because the way they went about this was brilliant. So before Transformers, there was a teaser for Cloverfield. It was a brief teaser. The title of the movie was not shown. All that was shown was 1/18/2008, which is when the movie was coming out. From these teasers, the only thing people knew was that something was happening. There were characters at a party, and then things just get crazy, but we don't know why. So right away, the intrigue was there. What is this movie going to be about? What is happening to these characters? And before the movie came out, they had an alternate reality game, or an ARG, in order to market the film. Characters from the movie were on MySpace. You had fake websites for companies. You had one for a company called Tagruato, which had subsidiaries. One of the subsidiaries was Slusho, which is where the main character, Rob, was going to go work, was Slusho in Japan. You had fake news clips showing oil rigs collapsing under the ocean. You had this whole story being built up around this movie, so audiences could figure out the story behind the movie before the movie actually came out. Now, Cloverfield is not the first movie to do this. Obviously, Blair Witch is another one that did this perfectly. But as someone who watched Cloverfield before knowing about the ARG and all the marketing that came with it, I still went back and looked at all the marketing and all the ARG material, and it's just so much fun to go through. And it really adds to the story of Cloverfield more than just watching the movie blind, which even then, it's still a great movie. So the marketing campaign, the teasers built up this movie. So what did audiences get when they finally got to see Cloverfield? Well, it's found footage, which might turn some people off, because a lot of people don't like found footage and refuse to watch any movie just because it's found footage. But let me tell you, some movies can't be told in any other way other than found footage, and Cloverfield is one of those movies. If this movie was filmed like any other movie, it would not be as special as it is. The fact that it's filmed in found footage style means that we are with the characters, meaning we only know what's going on when the characters know what's going on. We have just as much information as they do, and that makes it terrifying. That's what makes it intense, and that's what makes the movie relatable, because if you were in the same situation, these are the things you'd probably be thinking too, and these are the decisions you'd probably be making as well. So I think this movie uses found footage better than any other movie ever. So it opens up, you get footage of Rob and Beth in their apartment, and them spending the day in New York City, going to Coney Island. That film is being taped over by the events of the movie. So Rob is going away to Japan because he got a new job working for Slusho. So his friends are having a goodbye party for him. You got Rob's brother Jason. You got Jason's girlfriend Lily. Of course, you got Beth. And you got cameraman Hud, who's going to be the one holding the camera throughout the movie. You also get Marlena, who's a friend of one of the characters. I don't think she's as connected to the group as everyone else is. So they're all at this party, and Hud is filming testimonials for Rob. Everyone's saying goodbye to Rob, how much they're going to miss him. And Beth shows up. with a new boyfriend. Now, how does this make any sense? You're going to show up to your ex's going away party with a new man? I would have seen that and immediately kicked her out. You're not going to come here and bring your new boy toy to my going away party? Are you crazy? So, of course, that leads to an argument because, yeah, why wouldn't it? I don't know what she was thinking, but she leaves. So now Rob's upset. You got Rob and Jason and Hud, and they're all outside. They're talking about the situation with Beth. And all of a sudden, stuff starts to go crazy. The lights go out. There's a big earthquake. Everything's shaking. No one knows what's going on. They watch the news when the power comes back on. The news says that there was a capsized oil tanker. They go to leave the building. There's all these explosions going on, debris falling all over the place. They finally make it outside. No one knows what's going on. It's just pure chaos at this point. And it will continue to be pure chaos through the rest of the movie. So, no one knows what's going on already. And then you get the iconic shot of the Statue of Liberty's head just being thrown through the streets, and it lands right there in front of them. And I don't know about you, but if I saw that, I don't know how I would react. I guess I'd crap my pants. I don't know what I would do. But it's at this point, no one knows what's going on. And since it's found footage, the audience doesn't know what's going on either. Is it a terrorist attack? Is it a monster? What is it? What's happening? What threw the Statue of Liberty's head across Manhattan? So you hear some roaring. It's obviously some type of creature. HUD can't really get a good shot of it. There's debris everywhere. There's dust and smoke everywhere. They have to hide out in a store. And as they're hiding in the store, there's just a big shaking going on. Obviously, the monster, I guess, is walking past the store. You get people saying it's alive. Oh, I saw it. It's huge. Stuff like that. A lot of people thought they said it's a lion in the trailer. So people thought it was going to be a Voltron movie. He did not say it's a lion. That'd be awesome. Giant Mufasa. Everyone tries to evacuate the city. So they go to the Brooklyn Bridge. So there's so many people walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. You can see the Statue of Liberty that's been decapitated standing there. So no head though. You got the oil tanker that's capsized right there. You can see all this destruction. Somehow Jason gets separated from the rest of the group. And he's waving for them to come on. And all of a sudden the bridge starts shaking. And the monster's tail just crushes the bridge. A bunch of people die. The bridge is destroyed. And we find out that Jason unfortunately died on the bridge. So Rob's upset because his brother's dead. Lily's upset because her boyfriend's dead. So they go back. They go to this store because Rob's trying to get a phone. Because on the bridge, Beth called and said that she needed help. So he's trying to buy a phone to use to call Beth and see what's going on. And they have the TV on and the news is showing our first real good glimpses of the monster. And that's another great genius part of this movie is that they're very careful in how much of the monster they show. If within the first 10 minutes of the movie you see the monster in its full glory, then there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing scary. Build up the anticipation of seeing the monster. So the audience goes, I want to see what that thing looks like. Is that thing terrifying? What does it look like? What is it? This movie does a great job of building that up. So we see some glimpses of it. We see these parasites falling off its back and attacking soldiers and people. So Rob finally gets the phone. He gets a message from Beth saying she's trapped in her apartment. So they decide to go do that. When there's a fight between the National Guard and the monster, it forces them to run into the subway. You get a big close-up of the monster's face. Pretty terrifying stuff. So now they're in the subway. They're away from the monster, right? Nothing could go wrong. Well, before they start walking through the subway, Rob has to call his mom and tell her that Jason's dead. And a pretty sad scene that gets overlooked because there's so much going on in this movie. But that's a pretty heartbreaking scene. So after that, they walk through the subway. It's dark. We have the night vision on the camera. And you see all these rats running the opposite way from the characters. And sure enough, those parasites that fall off the monster, they're down in the subway. The group gets attacked. Marlena gets bitten. They fight off the creatures and they escape. They make their way to a command center where they have people tending to people who need medical attention. Marlena was bitten, so they drag her behind this curtain. Then you just see Marlena explode. Her belly just inflates and she just explodes in a pretty nasty scene. So Marlena's dead. Something about the parasite bite makes you explode, apparently. They tell the military leaders they need to go save Beth. The military leaders tell them they have to get back at a certain time if they want to leave Manhattan. So the group goes. They find Beth's apartment. They have to climb up the building that's tilted because of all the destruction. They have to make their way across. It's pretty dangerous stuff. And as they're coming back, after they get Beth, they pull a bar out of her. She was impaled by a bar, and she's somehow still alive. As they're making their way back, the monster is heading their way. And you get another pretty good look at the monster. And this thing is terrifying. The thing that makes the Cloverfield monster so terrifying is you can't really pinpoint what it is. Godzilla, it's a lizard. King Kong, he's an ape. But when you look at the Cloverfield monster, you can't tell me what it is. No one knows what it is or where it came from. Well, unless you follow the ARG, then you know where it came from, kind of. But its origins and what it is so mysterious, and that's what makes it terrifying. So they have Beth now. They go to Grand Central Station. You get another epic shot of the monster as he's hovering over Grand Central Station. They made it to the helicopters. Lily gets put on a helicopter separate from everyone else. And that's the last time we see Lily in this movie. So it's unclear if she escaped. It's unclear if she's alive. I don't think we'll ever know, because apparently they're never going to make a sequel to this movie. The rest of the crew get on another helicopter. You get this awesome aerial view of the monster and the military bombing the monster, and the monster screaming. You can see its hand come down and destroy some buildings. Really great monster stuff here. They think the monster's dead, and they're all celebrating. And all of a sudden, the monster jumps up, grabs their helicopter's spinning. They're saying, "Oh God, I don't want to die. Oh, we're going to die." The helicopter's plummeting to the ground, and the helicopter crashes. So after the helicopter crashes, they all wake up. They're in Central Park. HUD grabs the camera, and as soon as he grabs the camera, he turns around, and what's there? The monster standing right above him. And we finally get our first clear, full shot of how tall and menacing the Cloverfield monster is. It looks down, it opens its mouth, and it rips HUD apart in its mouth. So HUD is dead. I guess the monster just leaves Beth and Rob alone because he just walks away. So Rob and Beth grab the camera. Rob starts to document what has happened. They're under a bridge. They're leaving their testimonies about what has happened that night and that day. And then bombs go off. The bridge crumbles. They get buried beneath the rubble. They're talking about how much they love each other. They're screaming. You can hear the monster in the background roaring as it gets blown up. And apparently the bombing did succeed in killing the Cloverfield monster. And it seems as though Beth and Rob are killed as well from the bridge collapse. So the movie ends going back to Rob and Beth's trip to Coney Island. You can barely see in the corner of the screen when the camera shows outside to Coney Island. You can see an object falling from the sky into the water. A lot of people think that's the monster. It's not. It's a satellite from the company Taguado. But we're not going to get into that right now. It's a blink and you miss it type thing. Beth says, "I had a good day," and then the movie ends. And that's Cloverfield. Just an intense, scary, found footage monster movie where you're put right in there with the characters who know nothing about what's going on. They have to endure this giant creature destroying their city. They know nothing about it. We know nothing about it. It's an amazing experience. I recommend everyone watch it. If you love monster movies, if you love found footage movies, if you love movies in general, it's really short. It's really enjoyable. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. So you know that I love Cloverfield, judging by this video. But let me know what you guys think about Cloverfield. Let me know what you guys think about the other two Cloverfield movies, which I'll talk about one day. Let me know if you love Cloverfield, if you hate it, if you don't like it because it's found footage. Tell me in the comments your thoughts on Cloverfield. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. And with that, Zach has spoken.